I mean, who hasn't ruined hundreds of dollars worth of product at their job or wet the bed in a sleepover in high school? As you may have guessed, these are both things I have done, and I'm sure you all have your humiliating experience as well. But the effects that I thought they would have were much less than what they wound up being. I thought that I would be losing my job and losing my friend. The immediate tendency we have when we make mistakes is to think the world is ending. However, these negative events often have a negligible negative impact on our lives. The first experience happened at my local grocery store. I unintentionally steered a cart full of salad bar contents right into a display of beer bottles. Now, every night at the store, we had to pack up all the containers full of food onto these carts, and they were about as tall as me, if not a little bit taller. And then the job was to wheel them back into the refrigerators in the back to be restocked and then put out for the next day. So I had the task of wheeling these back into the back room. But unfortunately, these wheels, they kind of have minds of their own. So as I was taking it around the corner, it took a turn all on its own right into a big display of beer bottles. Then crash! They all shattered the ground. My feet were covered in beer. And then I looked up, and all the salad bar contents were coming down on top of me. I tried to shield myself from the olives and the banana peppers and the hard-boiled eggs, but it was no use. I was covered. I knew that this was going to be disastrous, and I thought that I dreaded what would happen when my boss found out about this. I thought I was going to have to pay for what I destroyed. I thought weeks of my paycheck were going to be wiped out because I destroyed so much product. I was thinking about how much people spend on salad bars when they just get individual salads, and they could be up to $20 to $25. And I wiped out everything, not to mention 3 or 4 cases of beer that were already expensive on their own. I thought perhaps I'd be post-accident drug tested. Worst of all, I thought I was going to lose my job at Heinz. Second experience that I mentioned earlier happened in a friend's basement. It was just a routine sleepover, or so I thought, and then it turned out to be something much different. We had gone to small group that evening with the church group and came back to his house to watch the Cavs game with a couple kids. And they were watching Batman. And I made the mistake of getting way too comfortable before I went to the bathroom. My thought was that if I just go to bed, wake up in the morning, then I can go to the bathroom and I'll be good. But unfortunately, that was not how things worked out. I woke up and it was just a little more warm and a little more damp than you want it to be when you wake up. So first things first, I got out of there and I changed my clothes in the ones I had brought with me for the sleepover. And I just kind of sat on the chair and I wondered, what am I going to do to cover this up? Like, how am I going to explain myself? It's like, can I perhaps blame it on their dog? Can I maybe open up a water bottle and just kind of spill it on where I wet the bed and just say I spilled a water bottle? Sure enough, as my mind was racing trying to come up with these ideas, my friend, the host, sleeping on the ground, started to stir a little bit. So I was like, my time's running out. This is it. But then he got up and he laid down right on the air mattress that I had just wet. So I waited for him to notice the mistake he had made. And he asked everyone else that was there, who was just kind of waking up, why is my shirt so wet? So I posed him the question, Trevor, did you wet the bed last night? I knew the truth was eventually going to come out. I couldn't keep this up forever. And I dreaded what was going to happen when he knew what I had done to his air mattress. I thought perhaps I would lose a friend. Who wants to be a friend with someone who's wet the bed before? Perhaps he was going to tell the entire youth group and I was going to be exiled. I thought perhaps I would never be let into his house again for another small group meeting. Sure enough, neither outcome was as impactful as I initially thought it would be. I didn't lose my job and I didn't lose my friend. There was no significant consequences. Now they're no more than just memories which I like to tell to get a good laugh out of people. When the store manager found out, he simply laughed and told the informant to order a new salad bar cart. I kept my job for the rest of my high school career at Heinens, but I never made that mistake again. And eventually with my friend, I did have to confess that I was the one that wet his bed at the sleepover later that day. And we still have our friendship, and I'm still welcome at small group, but he does not still use that air mattress. Sometimes it's easy to put a disproportionate emphasis on the negative events in our lives. But it's infrequent that these moments will actually change our lives in a radical way. Just like with my job at Heinens, the manager simply laughed and told us to order new carts. Just like at my friend's sleepover, well, he threw out the air mattress, and now it's a good story to tell. So next time you knock over a salad bar cart at your job, or in your sleep you use a bathroom where no bathroom exists, just know that your expectations for the outcomes are going to be far worse than the reality.
Okay.